trackable. They respond to you. And there's different ways you do that. We have hand gestures, with the Microsoft HoloLens, where you do that little alligator thing. You have eye gestures, where they'll actually do heat tracking. They'll look at where your eyes are looking, and that is a way to interact. There's voice interactions. You can tell the headset to do things, to move things, to pick up things. So when we're looking at mixed reality, we're looking at actually interacting with your environment, and using spatial computing so your environment is able to actually understand what you're doing. There's also a concept of XR, which is basically all of these things together, and it's like the new buzzword. So you can say, I know XR, because this is the new buzzword. People will talk about it like it's really super, something really cool. But all it is virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality together. They call it XR. Another thing I just wanted to mention, I don't know who's done the demos, but if you go upstairs, you'll see some different headsets. A virtual reality.
Because, instead of having a 5-day training, they can just have a 1-day training where the information is, retained a lot more than if it was, you were seeing a PowerPoint or something like that. Or you now, instead of taking 3 hours fixing this machine, then you're going to take, 30 minutes because you're seeing kind of the instructions in an easier way. Or maybe you're not the expert and you actually can call an expert with a remote assistant solution that will tell you, well, I can actually indicate you the instructions through the screen in augmented reality and help you accomplish your job and even avoid an accident, avoid mistakes, avoid scrap that goes on their daily jobs in a really significant way.
Perfect, thank you.
So I've developed a lot of applications for the consumer industry. So for Timberland Solutions, we developed an AR solution where you actually, one of the challenges Timberland has was actually to upsell you on other items as you come into the store. A lot of people come in and they want to buy their boots, right? But they don't realize what else should I buy in the store that would go with this. So we developed a solution where you would actually tether, there would be devices tethered in the store because it's very difficult to get people to download your applications. And then when you had a tag, we'd have featured items that when you pointed your phone at a tag, it would actually show you other items that matched with those shoes. So you'd put a whole outfit together for the person, and then they could go ahead and post it to social media. So that's one example of an AR consumer application. And then also we developed a virtual reality tour of the Carlos Museum at Emory. And for that, what we did was we first took you on an actual 360 tour with a tour guide, and you got around to the actual museum. But then what we realized with museums is that 90% of a museum collection is actually in storage. So we thought, wouldn't it be really cool to develop a template for an actual virtual museum, right? And so, because it's not a real museum, we could show all those objects that are ordinarily not on display to people all the time, and they could change, right? So it was a room like this that was like 360, and as you pan around the room after a few moments, the paintings would actually change as to what was asked. Because we thought to think, wow, would that be great to use for all museums? Because that is a global problem, right? That we don't get to see a lot of the art that's available.
They're interested in you, whether that be from augmented reality marketing labels, or in the sales process to make the process easier for them, for they feel confident in purchasing your product, are just a couple of the ways I think you get a lot of value.
Well, I think there's obviously very exciting educational components to it, and I think it's interesting that you talked about Certificator, because we had come up with a concept too where you could have kids get educational benefit out of how things work, so they could point their phones when they're out and about in the city and things, and actually get information on how does a sewer work, how does this stoplight work, things like that, right? So there's obviously educational benefit. And then from a VR component, it's so meaningful. A lot of times people don't have an opportunity to go to other places. And so I think also to bring museums content outside to individuals or any kind of experience that they couldn't get to experience because they're not in the same city or the same country even, I think can be very meaningful.
And to make those things more efficiently.
I think that the value is that this type of tech.
So far, because the space that I've been in has been very inclusive and diverse. I do feel like women sometimes are challenged by technology, and I appreciate you doing that to those girls because we need them. I think actually when there's a diverse room, and I don't mean all women, I mean actually diverse men and women, then we have better solutions. So that's more that we can help in that space, the better.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I think, I started out in technology, where in my class, there were 3 women in a class of about 150 students, and the rest were men. And that's kind of how our industry where we all have a space in it. That's kind of cool.
I was going to say too, I did take it to Skank. That's the name of the school for dyslexics. That's right, the name is Skank. So, but anyway, I took it there and I thought I had this idea, could you use tilt brush to make the letters, the physicality